In week 6 of the Go Setups GT3 Racing Series, we'll be heading to England for Silverstone. This is one of the most well-known tracks on the calendar, and I'm really excited to see how we can do. Since I've proven over the last 2 weeks that I'm a liability not only to myself but to my competitors, I'll be wearing this guy for at least the first race today. I've also taken it upon myself to color my car in a way that I can only describe as a traffic cone. Let's see how we do. Real quick, I wanted to thank you guys if you've watched the first couple videos and stuck around to see this one. I'm not only learning to drive on the sim, but also learning how to edit videos and different things about that. So I apologize for the video quality in the past couple videos. There are some audio issues as well. And speaking of audio issues, unfortunately in this video, I lost the audio for my second and third race. So there will only be one race highlight for this week, but if you're interested in that, please stay tuned. And for more, please consider liking and subscribing. On to the video. We start race 1 from position 13 of the split 4 race this week. A little bit of a scrappy qualifying lap, but overall not too bad. Not something I'm happy with, but it puts us in a decent position starting this race. So we're gonna start warming up our tires and try and get a good run here. With all of the turns and this being split 4, we're anticipating quite a bit of carnage on the first lap. So we're just gonna try and stay out of it with the bucket you can see in the top right corner. Lights go green and we're making our way towards Cops. On the inside here, so we're going to make sure that we hug the curb here and just stay out of any trouble. Making our way towards Maggots and Beckett's, we see the Ferrari slide over here, so we're going to slot in behind him and just try and stay clean here and look out for any cars that may be running wide or getting hit by others. We make it through Maggots and Beckett's into Chapel quite clean and stay out of trouble here just barely, and making our way down the hangar straight. And looking at it from the heli view, we can see the red Ferrari just ramming into the green one and pushing him clean out of the way with a little bit of lag there. On the brakes, just a touch late, and we get real close to this Ferrari here and have to evade just a touch, but overall not too bad. Just need to be more conscientious of cold tires and cold brakes. On the brakes here, and we make it through here relatively clean. Decent gap behind, a little bit of a gap in front to make up. Overall, not too bad of a first lap. We've made one position so far, so we're gonna just slightly tap the brakes coming into Abbey, through Farm Curve, into Village and the Loop. There are so many corner names on this track. Please forgive me if I miss any. Just barely missed the Ferrari getting spun around there, and more carnage in front of us here. To the heli again, we can see door card number 4 hit the red Ferrari and then get taken out himself by the green Porsche as we make our way through. Down the Wellington Straight, we can see a BMW sticking a nose in and throw it down the inside, so we're going to give him some racing room and slot in behind here, through Love Field and onto Woodcott here in just a moment. Struggling to try and keep it together here and not slide too much, but we're able to hang on to it and keep it together. Now down the starting straight, and that's our first lap. We were able to pick up 2 positions along the way and evade tons of carnage, which we're happy to have the helmet on this week, constantly reminding us that we need to be staying safe out there. As we make our way through Maggots and Beckett's, we're able to do it just a little bit cleaner than the green BMW in front, so we may have a possible run at the end of the hangar straight into Stowe. Just trying to slot in here and gather the slipstream and see, but it seems they have a bit more straight line pace. And you can see the Ferrari sneaking up behind. I was driving in my mirrors a little bit and almost rear-ended the BMW, so luckily I had looked back in time and was able to move out of the way. But unfortunately, we did lose a position to the Ferrari here. Again, just a little rattled and tires not fully being there. Get really close to the Ferrari and end up just allowing this other Ferrari to make his way through as well. Again, we're just trying to salvage the safety rating here and just make sure that we're being as safe as possible, not making contact with anybody. Obviously, we'd like the best result that we can, but at the end of the day, we're trying to get out of the split four races and out of danger, from ourselves and from other drivers. But we slot in behind this Ferrari and make our way through the loop and onto entry down the Wellington Straight here. Um, Overall, not too bad. Started 13th, and now we're back in 13th, but we're hoping to pick up some positions as this race goes on. So we hit our break point and stay nice and tight to the curb, run it out just a little bit wider than we wanted to here, and now we're second, trying our best to practice trail braking and make our way through this here. Now making our way through Luffield and Woodcott and down the starting straight, and that's the conclusion of lap 2. But we're not done yet, as the carnage continues through Copse. There's a huge pileup at the end, and we're lucky to evade that without any incident, slotting into 13th behind this Ferrari again. A few minutes down the road now, we find our way about to enter the Hamilton Straight, and we've got a little bit of a run on this BMW here, so making our way into Abbey, we're just going to give it a slight lift rather than braking, run it out wide here, and then switch back and make a move down the inside. To this point, this is by far the best racing move that I've been able to make, so I was pretty proud of this and being able to set it up and make the pass. Watching it back, you can really see the run I had here through Abbey, and we're able to make the switch back in just a little bit later on the brakes and hold the line without blowing through the apex. Unfortunately, that pride was short-lived as we make our way into this braking zone and cut the chicane just way too tight. The pink BMW gets too close to us, and then we end up spinning it all on our own. So we see a three pack of cars behind us, so just end up letting them through rather than trying to slot in between and straighten it out for the Hamilton Straight and see what we can do in the next 6 minutes of racing. On to the final lap now. We've lost one position to the Ferrari again, but we were able to pick up one position due to a car in the pit lane. So we see a nice little scrap here between the Ferrari and the BMW. So we're going to try and just slot in behind here and see if maybe there's any carnage, if we can pick up one extra spot as we make our way onto the second half of this lap. Down the Wellington Straight, we're in the slipstream here, but the BMW definitely has some straight line on us, so we're braking just a little bit early here, making sure that we're trying to stay in nice and tight and carry our speed, but the tires are they're about over it, so we accept our fate and just grateful that we had a nice clean race this time. So as we make our way down the starting straight here, we're going to finish the race P11, able to pick up 2 positions today with an ELO increase of 8 and a safety rating increase of a whopping 0.48. So very, very happy with these results. And just like that, week 6 comes to an end. As I said in the intro, I'm sorry I lost the audio for races 2 and 3, but I did figure out my issue, so I can be sure that it won't happen again. In summary, race 2 started from P7, and I had the opportunity to race with my friend Rich, who's now racing with a wheel and pedals. Unfortunately, just like last week, we ended up making contact. So rather unfortunate, but I did finish that race in P9 for an ELO drop of 9 and a safety rating drop of 0.01. And then for race 3, I got off to a horrible start where I was making some moves on the opening lap and unfortunately got tapped by another driver and got spun around. So We came home to finish that race incident-free other than that in P19 for an ELO drop of 55 and a safety rating drop of 0.03. At the end of the week, our ELO is definitely going the wrong direction. However, our safety rating is going the right direction. So we'll look to carry that momentum into Imola next week. Again, if you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing, and leave comments down below on how I can improve editing or sim driving, or in any instance if you guys would like to see something. So thank you again, and I'll see you next week.